The top 1% of men can read women's minds, while the rest of 99% of beta males can't. But do you have that ability? Are you one of the top 1%? Make no mistake, reading a woman's mind is an extremely critical skill to have in the game of seduction. After all, how many times have women told you one thing, yet do something completely different? Or how about this? First, she asks you to do something for her. Then you do it, just as she asked. And now, for some crazy reason, she's disappointed or angry at you. Crazy, isn't it? Yet here's the thing. To a woman, it makes 100% perfect sense. And the worst part, there are guys out there who completely understand what's going on. These men can read women's minds. And yes, these are the men all the women simp for. As for the bad news, if you're having trouble decoding womanese, then you're not one of those guys. And that will change after you finish watching this video. You're about to learn how you can read a woman's mind and know exactly what she's thinking. With this skill, you'll experience two big changes in your life. First, women will stop confusing and frustrating you. And second, they'll start desiring you and you only. Now, what I'm about to tell you, each and every word is important. Use these guidelines with good intentions and be a real man. Step number 1, test. Just accept the fact that women are always up to something. With no exceptions, even the happiest and most pleased wives will play mind games on the men they love from time to time. Here's the raw truth. They're not really mind games. Instead, they're tests. Women are testing to see just how masculine you are. This is known as a shit test. The rules of these tests are simple. If you pass the test, you'll prove you're savvy enough to overcome a woman's mind games. She's reassured you're as masculine as she thought, and she loves you more as a result. Meanwhile, if you fail the test, then you show her you're not manly, and that's the reason she gets disappointed. And later on, dumping you, she feels deceived, like you wasted her time and got her hopes up. That's the game. And here's an example. Let's take a classic no-escape situation. She'll ask you, "Does this dress make me look fat?" If you say yes, you'll come off as thinking she's fat, and she'll feel insulted. So what's the correct answer then? Once again, remember, it's a test. It actually means one of two things. Either she wants you to make her feel better about her weight, or she wants to see how good you are at answering tricky questions. Quite sneaky, wasn't it? The same goes for when she says something like, "That friend of yours is very pretty." Either she wants you to make her feel pretty too, or she wants to see how you treat a jealous woman. And when she says, "I'm bored," she wants you to tell her something fun to do. Or she's seeing if you're man enough to get the hint and take her someplace private. Are you starting to see it? In any case, now that you have a better idea of what's going on, the challenge is obvious. You need to pass these tests of hers and give her the reassurance she possibly needs. That way, every time she plays her mind games on you, she'll end up falling deeper and deeper in love with you. Sounds good, right? So how do you do that? With a technique I call the charming moron chain. It's a 2-step response that's guaranteed to pass her test, whether she's looking for skill or reassurance from you. But before we get to it, if you want to keep receiving dating advice that works in the real world, and if you're tired of these fake dating gurus out here giving absolutely dog shit advice that never really works, then do consider subscribing to this channel. For your own good, you might just learn something new. By watching these videos, it's clear you're someone who's eager to improve, and that's worthy of admiration. You've already demonstrated the willpower and the desire for self-improvement. What you need now is a clear path. We're offering a valuable resource, a free secret ebook written by Tristan Tate. This ebook contains exclusive knowledge on how to attract women effectively, no matter the circumstances. It delves into the art of seduction, understanding female nature, and dating as a comprehensive whole. This is just the groundwork for you to become a player in the dating realm. You don't lack motivation. You just lack the knowledge and trust in the path that you're taking. You can either continue on an aimless journey that leads nowhere, or take action by clicking the link in the description below. Now let's move on to the second step, the charming moron chain. This involves mind control. It might be dangerous, so use it at your own risk. With the charming moron chain, you can dominate the frame of the conversation. It makes you the one in charge, not her. There are 2 steps to the method. The first step is to agree with her more strongly when she asks or says something. For example, if she asks, "Does this dress make me look fat?" You can agree more forcefully by saying something like, "Yeah, you look huge, lose some weight." Or you can say, "Almost as fat as your ego," and say it with a playful smile on your face to illustrate the humor. Does that ring a bell? Let's look at something else. If she tells you that friend of yours is pretty, you should agree more strongly and forcefully by saying, "Yeah, she's hot. She's my backup plan in case you break up with me." And then tell her again, with a goofy smile, indicating that you're just messing around. Do you get the idea by now? Comment down below if you did. By doing this, you're showing you're not intimidated by her mind games. You can say whatever you want, and you're not afraid of offending her if she doesn't have a sense of humor. It does sound crazy, but guess what? No risk is equal to no reward. And if she really is testing to see how masculine you are, it's the only way to pass her test. Any other response will likely fail the test for you. Now, what about the other possibility? What if she actually wants a compliment or reassurance? You'll know that's the case if, after your jerky reply, she looks hurt or offended. When that happens, then that's where step 2 of the charming moron chain comes in. Being true to its name, you become a moron who loves her. By giving her some loving reassurance, you reach in and hug her or kiss her lightly and tell her that you're just joking around and having a good time with her, or any other response that diffuses the situation. If it was reassurance she wanted, this is the only way to pass her test. That's why the way charming moron chain works. It covers both possibilities. With one smart move, agree more forcefully to dominate the frame of the conversation. And if she gets offended or upset, give her some of the charming moron reassurance. Now, to wrap up, I've got an interesting question. Is there a way to prevent women from playing these mind games on you right from the start? The answer is yes. It's possible to make her love you so much that she thinks twice about doing anything that might make her lose you, and that includes her mind games. The best word I can think of for that peaceful, contented state of mind is addiction, and to make her emotionally addicted to you, you'll need a technique called fractionation. Picture this for a moment. Every conversation you have with your woman slowly feeds her addiction to you. Ultimately, she gets so attached to you, she won't even dare offend you with her silly mind games. It's that powerful. If the charming moron chain solves a woman's mind games, fractionation is prevention, and you'll want both in your toolkit as you play the dating game. Fractionation is too long to explain in this video, so comment down below if you want to see another video on that topic.